Welcome back to Crazy Ball TV. Thank you so much joining me again. Welcome back to LFC Vibes. As you guys can see in the description of this video, are we selling or are we not gonna sell? So we got to talk about this. But people, thank you. Share, subscribe, like. Our goal is to get to 200 before the end of the week. Get us there, please. Keep the likes up. Appreciate y'all, man. Um, yeah, so let's talk about it, man. Yesterday, out of nowhere, there was there was a the breaking news, and shout out to Grace Can because I heard it from him first during the Big Six show. And it was Salah has, there was a bid of 220 million for Salah. And big up to Brian, big up to Neil. Thank you so much for joining me again. Appreciate y'all. So back to this thing here with the Salah situation, right? I don't even know where to begin. Should we sell or not to sell? That's the question. 220 million is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I mean, business sense says sell it, but the smart thing is it's too late to sell. I mean, you sell it for 200 million, even let's just say we have an adequate replacement, say from the squad. Let's say Ben Doak or even Diaz. Next, then January comes in, then what? All of a sudden, Saka is like what? 275 million because everybody knows that you have 225 million burning in your back pocket. And I'm hearing that wasn't Napoli's president said that Carver haven't signed a new contract, and he's what? He got 3 or 4 more years to go. So no, we're going to discuss everything because I know a lot of people will say, the people who I say sell are the same people who said Liverpool never gave enough love to Salah. Liverpool never loved Mane, all this kind of stuff. But before we continue, let's give some love to, I see my man Kabak, Ozen Kabak is in the building. It's been a minute, brother. Good to see you. I see Rashdi is in the house. What's happening, player? Good to see you again. Yeah, good to see y'all, man. Yeah, I I agree with you, Brian. I will sell him next year. I will sell him next year, even if it's for 50 million less. It's a lot of money. But Salah being on the squad this season is worth more than 50 million. So I definitely will keep him till next summer. At least by January, we could start pinpointing the players that we want to replace him rather than just have the money in our pocket. And we know we will have to buy like 4 or 5 players because you don't know who to get. And at this place, you don't get a direct replacement because you never get direct replacement. So we are not sure if it's an official bid, but these clubs, they talk among each other before the official bid comes. Because when it becomes official, the press, the media, the government, the taxman has to know about it because they want their cut. So, of course, the agents are the one communicating right now so that the club would then make an official bid. That's why we were telling people when Liverpool made the official bid to Brighton, that was because the player had told Liverpool that he is willing to come to Liverpool. That's why we made official bid. So at this point, it's just the conversation. They're trying to tell us, hey, we got 220 million for this guy. Talk about it and let us know. That's what basically they do it. Now, if Liverpool gives him a little agreement, any form of agreement, say yes, we'll be willing to negotiate, then the money comes. So that's how it works. I mean, there are some people who just come in and just like, here's 200 million, and then they will get shut down. So at this point, it's just agent talks, media talks, and everybody just hear say people are just talking. So we will see where it goes. But at this point, the reason why they haven't made an official bid is because they know Liverpool keeps saying no. So we will talk about the whole point of Liverpool keep saying no, right? Is FSG saying no, is Salah saying no, or club saying no? Because all three of them have to agree. If two of them agree, he's gone. That's basically what it is. Let me see. Yeah, we'll probably get him for about 150. I would think between 120 to about 170, that ballpark next summer. That's where we'll get him. I agree with that. Yeah, we don't need 200 million right now. Salah could be the difference in the fourth place. That worth 100. True, that's true. But the thing is also is he's going to AFCON and he's going to be missing 7 matches. And, that's league plus cup games, depending on where we are in the cup games. The one that I'm more concerned about is he is potentially going to miss the Arsenal game at the Emirates. That is the concerning part. But I believe we have adequate replacement for him for that match. Now, that will tell Liverpool a lot. That period where he's gone, that is going to tell Liverpool how well Liverpool moved forward. Because if he leaves and is identical to when he and Mane left and we had Ox and Jota step up and, we were able to win all these games and then able to compete for the 4 trophies, then you know that Liverpool is definitely going to be great. But if he leaves and our form dips between the time he leaves, it may not be because he left. It will be the whole noise around it will cause so much chaos that it will become so. So that's why I say I agree with that statement, Neil. After seeing Sobo, that man can play. That man can play. What is Ozan saying? I'm not a businessman, but I think we won't get offered 215 ever again. That may be true. But like I said, you get him 250, you get that 215 this year, and you do really, really bad this season. Then what? You see what I mean? Then what? Okay, you come in 6th, 7th. Remember, us not being the Champions League this year is going to cost us quite a bit of money. So him being on the team, remember, him being on a team is not just for us winning games. Remember, this whole thing about these people coming for him is because he is in a big, big economy by himself. Salah is a huge economy. Remember all the sales, the shirt sales, the concession stand sales, all these things that Salah brings to the club, not just on the field. It's big. So if you put all those package alone, it's more than 250 million. So unless we gonna get him leaving and we sure for sure that Diaz and Ben Doak will do an adequate, then we good. Because with Liverpool winning, we will get the money back, right? If Liverpool's winning, I don't care. That's why we always said no player or manager or anybody individual is bigger than the club. If Liverpool start winning, we lost Mane, we lost Suarez, we lost Torres, we lost Steven G, Carragher, all them people. If Liverpool's winning, it doesn't matter. But the thing is the gamble. That's where right now a lot of people are talking about. Hey, Razi, man, you can't Mbappe me. That is my campaign. If you want to help me, let me know you want to be part of the campaign, but don't try to take that away from me. But I like your question. We got the money now. Liverpool has always gotten the money to buy a player. The question is the salary. Liverpool is not going to give somebody 400 a week. That is not going to happen. So we could get Mbappe. Now, Mbappe is with Nike. Mbappe is with LeBron. we could make some concessions on how we will pay him. We could tell him, when you are done, you could, FSG is trying to buy the NBA expansion. So that could be a way of paying, just like Messi right now. Messi, they are not paying him outright. He had a base form salary that he's getting, but the more money that he's making is beyond what they will pay him weekly. So that could happen. We could buy him, but can we, work something out with the salary part? Because Mbappe, I know they keep just posted something on social media and and printed something today talking about Mbappe to Liverpool is not out of the realm of impossibilities. My question is, are you trying to bait us so that we could buy your newspapers and click, or what? We always known that he can't come to Liverpool. The question is, will he? That's the thing. If Mbappe say, hey, Liverpool, I'll give you guys a chance to convince me to come to Liverpool, Henry will be there himself. He already hosted his family on his yacht before on Monaco. So I don't see why now we can't make a deal. The question is, how much are you going to pay him? I'm not worried about, oh, he's a big time player. He can't fit our culture. He will have to form. That's why Liverpool is. When you come to Liverpool, it's not about you anymore. The problem why Ronaldo was bigger than Man U, because Man U has been a mess for so long. That's where the problem is coming from. So, but in terms of Liverpool, with the culture that we have, everything is respectful. He cannot show up and start acting a fool. Knowing Mbappe, and you guys have seen ever since Messi and especially Neymar left, he's been very quiet and just playing his game. So players like him, they are more about their legacy. They want to win. So if you build a winning culture around them, they're quiet. They're not going to do. He's not a flashy guy. Come on. I don't want to bring other names in it, but compare him to another guy from France who plays in Italy. There's a big difference between the way they act outside. So that when people say, "Oh, he's too big time," nah, Liverpool is bigger than anybody I know. Yeah. So back to what we're saying with this selling him or not selling him, it's 220. I mean, it's a lot of money. But FSG right now are looking at it and they're talking about it. They'll be like, I mean, come on, you have to talk about it. You can't just say no and then keep going. But if you have a plan, when you say no, meaning right now, we are listening to our manager. If they keep saying no, that's because they're listening to Klopp. And Klopp is saying, I'm building this team around him. You can't take him away. Then that means all the work that we did towards the summer is gone. So we need this guy here. Wait till at least January or something, I mean, Stefano, basically that's where my point is kind of is. With Mo, we can challenge. Without him, fifth likely. But the question is, we will see when he leaves for AFCON and how long he stays out in AFCON, because Egypt has a pretty solid team. So that's a good point. I'm not going to disagree with that. Salah is about legacy. I've seen what his close friends say, and he has more to achieve before he becomes business oriented. Saudi need him for their project, including the African Super League. I know they've been talking about that, but I think that Saudi need him for the Egypt. Yes, number one, for the project, for the Saudi project that they have right now, which is the Pro League. But also they need him they want him to be the ambassador for the bid that Egypt and Saudi is going for the World Cup. And I think it's the next 2030 or something like that. And him being part of that, he is basically a representative of both worlds. So it'll be a big, big, big sale. And we saw how successful Qatar was. So these guys have been building huge infrastructures that has nothing to do with football, but all of it will be coming into one. So like I said, he's a big, big economy over there. So him coming in is huge. Yeah. Messi's making bank. from Apple, yep, and Adidas, yep, plus ownership of in the future. Exactly my point. That's why he chose MLS over the Saudi project, because Saudi were willing to pay this guy almost $1 billion and 1.2 billion in 2 years. He chose this one because of the legacy that he's building. You know, he wants ownership. So if Mbappe is on that level, he would choose that over give me 800 a week. So that's what I'm saying. That's a very good point. So back to what we were talking, the whole Salah thing. Now, Klopp has been adamant that he's not going. The players, his teammates have said he loves it. You guys saw the comment that Szoboszlai made. And he is not, throwing his toys out the pram. So he seems happy. He's cool. He said, his agent hasn't been being shady by posting subliminal messages on Twitter or on any of the social spaces. So to me, it doesn't seem like he is in a hurry. He's 31. Next year he can go. He can still give them 6 good years over there. So he's not in a hurry. He goes right now. I think he wants to put Liverpool at a place where he could say, we had a dip, but before I left them at this level. So I don't think that's why he's not rushing. But if it was something where he was at the age of, say, 34, getting to his 35, yeah, he'd have been gone. He would have been gone. So he at this point right now is not forcing his way out, which makes it easy for Klopp to say he's not going anywhere, which also put a pressure on FSG, be like, yo, yeah, he's not going anywhere. Because at any point Salah becomes a distraction to the club, then yes, he will be gone. So that's why I feel like he might not go. Now, there's been a lot of people who I'm doing my best not to mention names, but people are saying that, oh, I don't trust FSG because of the money. I don't trust of FSG if they get the money. But people, one, we know for sure FSG never take any money out of the club. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't like them, because they always don't spend their money. They only use the money on player sales. Remember, we are sell to buy. So the question is, when I hear people say that, to me, it seems like you guys don't trust Klopp, because he is the Don now. We will talk about Henderson's comment. Henderson have made a few comments out there that tells us a little bit crack of what goes on in the background. So what I'm saying is, if he does go, I believe that he is 12 men. Welcome. We appreciate you joining us. Me and my peoples in the chat. We are here talking. Just chopping it up about. Yeah, we just chopping it up. We are right now. We are at the barber shop right now. I'm getting a haircut. I got Ozan.
It's been a while since I've been to the barber shop, but
you know what I'm saying? I got Ozan in the back. He joined us today. The man is trying to get a trim. Stefano's out here getting his hairline did. Brian is always in the building. You know how Brian does it.
Oh, Brian is a true like.
No, man, I appreciate that man so much.
Brian, Stefano,
man.
Ozan, I see in the chat. Yeah, definitely definitely some real G's. When it comes to supporting each other, supporting the content creators on that, at least are Reds content creators, which I think is important. It's super important.
Neil is out here too, getting his beard. He's getting his build, and getting the beard. It seems like the guy got a date tomorrow. So Neil is in the house. Rashdi's in here. I see Rashdi. Where are you at, Rashdi? I know you're in the building. What's up? You know what I'm saying? The fighter say his hairline is dodgy, man.
Oh, that's all good, brother.
Well,
yeah. Get a proper fade for sure. I did. You know what? I had to get my hair was my hair is long, obviously, but it was so long in the sides that it was just like I couldn't wear hats. It was hot. I mean, it was so hot at times in Arizona with this hair. So I was like, hey, I gotta do something. I gotta make myself a little more aerodynamic.
Was that one the number 0 on the clipper?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I got you on that one. Don't worry, I got you. I'll buy you a hat if it doesn't work out properly. You know what I'm saying? But how you doing, man? How's everything going?
It's good, man. Just finished my Tactical Tuesday. I'm starting a Tactical Tuesday rendition as a weekly thing.
Yes,
and it was a lot of fun. Had a lot of different had a lot of takes on some of the of what we're doing this year. Hopefully, like I said, I provided the right weaponry to my Mighty Res army out there to combat the misinformation and all the nonsense that we hear, or the misconceptions or misunderstandings of what we're witnessing with this club, which is like, I think we're really witnessing a rejuvenance of a club. And like all these different things that we're seeing on this club are so exciting to see, because our midfield looks tough. Sexy. I don't think people give enough love to how strong and how amazing I think our midfield is. One of the best midfields in the Prem, period.
That's what I keep telling people. I said, we are 75%. We won't see the click until maybe the second week. Not the second week. After next international break, because when they come back, they got three league games and a few league cups. So that will build some consistency. Then when they come back after that break, that's when everything goes full force. And then of course there's another break which annoys the hell out of me. I don't know why we have a November break.
It's because you know what though? It's because I personally think that the federations want money. They need money. They want money. What's the only way to make money? And that's to have games, So obviously you can't just always rely on the tournaments, and everything else. You got to have friendlies. You got to. The coaches want the international teams to be, obviously, understanding their systems. But realistically, it gets down to it's just money grabs. It's just money grabs by everyone and all, like the FIFA, the federations. This is a money grab. For sure.
I always said that they need to compound all that between maybe after season is over, maybe the last week of May to maybe first week of July, and play all the international games in June, mostly in June, right? You could compound all of them, make it June the international month. So you could play that day. After that, they all have 2 to 3, 4 weeks off. And then they could go to this, because the thing that they get hurt when they go, these travels causes injuries. Fatigue causes injuries, right? They travel from one time zone to another. That is not good for your health. But, Stefano, thank you that you have come to the positive side. You saw K-Mac on Sunday. Even him, he's on the positive side of things now. So, me and 12 men, our job is done, right? We got people on the right side. And that's all we need. We need that positivity. We just have to give people. Yes, you are going to get, I'm going to tell you right now, a few times, it's a long season. You're going to get frustrated as we go. But trust me. Trust the process. Klopp is the guy. Klopp is the guy. Until we get another manager who's better than him. That's why we had that show about trust me. He said, trust us. And the man is delivering. And I hope he keep it up. What's good? And Brian, I agree. This guy's one of the best midfielders in the league. And the thing with McAllister is he's not flashy. His game is all about he's like the puppet master. You have to pay attention to what he's doing. Otherwise, you're going to assume that he didn't have a good game or he's not good enough. But anyway, you heard about the 220 million.
Yes.
Yesterday I was watching the Big Six show, and then Grace basically told everybody, be quiet. I have a breaking news. When he reported it, I also went on Twitter and posted it, because, hey. And then a few people started, and as a matter of fact, people, that team reposted Grace Can's post on Twitter. So the 220, you know, me and my guys in the barbershop, we are here talking about, should we sell or not to sell? 220. Next year, you're not going to get 220. But you have to put factors into it. Salah is worth, even if, let's say, next year he goes for 120.
Yes.
He's worth 100 million easy.
Yeah.
So what do you say, sell or not to sell?
I'm saying don't sell. I'm saying don't sell because one, especially right at the moment, don't sell. Sell when you're comfortable. Sell when he's comfortable with the move. Not sell when, you know, you're getting pressed by the SPL teams trying to, you know, in essence, form and form that or make that happen. Okay.
Right.
We hold the cards. Salah and the Reds hold the cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you something truth. Like, guys, this is something that I overheard Beijing Pops LFC from Beijing Reds TV speak of on his channel, speak on another platform. It's something that we were even speaking together in in the back office type deal. And that is, and it's something I actually can see what his frame of thinking is. And I actually agree with him in this sense. Salah isn't about, he's not money driven in essence. Okay. I get that people were like, oh, well, you know, he is making 350,000. He was making the press for more money and everything else, but he's the best right winger in the world, people. So, I mean, like, if anything, he deserved to have a salary that was respective of that title. But one thing I think of Salah as being his mindset is he's more interested in legacy. He's more interested in records. He's more interested in silverware, you know, which creates legacy, which creates records. And those things aren't going to be the things you get by going to the SPL. They're just not. Like, as in winning a league like the SPL, where, albeit they're building, they're bringing in some really big name talent and everything else, but still to the credit of the other big leagues in Europe, they're not at that level yet. And if he wants to build and create and solidify a legacy, you really can't say, oh, I'm going to go to SPL and make this happen. If anything, his best opportunity of making that happen is here. I'd be more scared if this was Real Madrid or Barcelona making a push, or even PSG making a push for this kind of offer, because he could still create and build a legacy by being at those clubs. Albeit his legacy is going to be different by being an SPL or an SPL team, but his legacy is not going to have the same shine, and it's not going to carry the same weight or even carry the same murmur or talk of the town aspects by doing it at Liverpool. And that's how I see that. Maybe, just maybe, people, we pick up this Europa quad, or we do well picking up a treble, or whatever we end up doing, okay? We pick up some titles, we pick up some momentum, we get back in the Champions League. All of a sudden, going to the SPL for more money kind of diminishes a little bit, kind of fades in, like, saying, you're Mo Salah, you're the biggest in the Arab world, in the Muslim world, you're one of the biggest names. You're an icon. You're not going to have to rush to do this, considering we've seen plenty of talent go there at older ages, and he's still young for the fitness level that he creates for himself. He's still young. He's still got many years to go, and hey, I think that's not a prerequisite that he leaves. I think people that are spitting that narrative or saying those things don't really conceptualize the true matter of the reality that we're faced. And don't get me wrong, I know 200 million, whatever it is, or 200 plus million, it's a lot of money, but all the same, it's not a legacy.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you hear background noises.
Oh no, you're good.
There's a bird outside who's just banging on the wooden part. I think it's a wood chirp or something.
Funny, I got a woodpecker too, man. Woodpecker hit my house. I'm so mad. So mad.
This
guy's he's
I thought like somebody's knocking on my door. I was like, what the? But no, I agree with you, because the thing is with Salah, it's not about the money. The man already has money. If you know Salah's endorsement, people need to pay attention to what Salah endorsement is. I understand what Saudi is trying to do. They need him for their project and the World Cup that is coming up. He's gonna make a lot of money regardless. But the thing is, FSG is doing what FSG usually does, and that's support the manager, right? Mm-hmm. The manager said he needs him this year, and he doesn't want to sell. Mm-hmm. So far, we got what till Thursday. FSG has not talked. We haven't heard anything about they want to sell. So now, I brought this thing up last time with Uncle Rods. Are we really a sell to buy club? Because 220 million, if we're a sell to buy club, what are we thinking?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? We would tell club, you will get all the 200. And we know by history tells us that these guys usually gives all the money to the manager. That's why people get frustrated with them, because they say you never use your own money. You always use, we sell to buy, basically, right?
Right.
So why am I hearing from even some prominent content creators, people who are usually not into this FSG out, FSG in, saying, oh, well, I don't trust FSG to spend the 200 million, or I don't trust how we're going to spend. When they say that, I'm starting to believe they are basically throwing a shade at club, because all the history of FSG has said they never take money from the club. They always put the money that was made from the player back to them. So why are we people talking about FSG? Oh, we don't trust them, this and that, this and that. Where's that coming from?
I think it's, so the misconception about the sell to buy is exactly what you're asking about, right?
Yeah.
And the misconception about how, I think alone, if you look at the numbers alone, look at how much we spent this summer. Mm-hmm. I mean, we spent quite a bit. I remember I had a graphic. Let me see if I can pull up the graphic actually. But I remember I did have a graphic where I commented on the expenditures that we had coming in. Mm-hmm. And I get it that McAllister was I want to say a steal of a buy. Mm-hmm. with his and also, what's funny real quick too is that, say what you will about Schmeike and say what you will about FSG being what are being called? They're called release clause merchants,
Yeah.
but hey, man, I don't care if you get them on a release clause.
Just get them.
What's that? Just get them. Just get them in the door. Just get them in the door. And once you start focusing more on that, then you'll focus more on our accomplishments, because the money that we spent for Dom, the money that we spent for McAllister, the money that we spent for obviously Gravenberch, the money that we spent for even Endo. I mean, it's well over 100 million that we spent on all those players, and we didn't have even remotely close to 100 million coming in. So the sell to buy is just one of those, again, it's lazy punditry. It's that parrot punditry that people just get stuck into their brain. And then when they try to pull something, from their file cabinet, they figure, I'm flustered. I'll just pull out this easy one that's been said 9,000 times.
Right.
In reality, it's not that.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Because I was listening. I try not to mention names, but
call them out. People need to be called accountable.
I'm trying.
They hold us accountable. They hold us accountable, brother. They do.
The thing is, no, I said I think it was Virgin. I forgot what. They were one of the Virgin brothers, right? And they were on the show, and they were like, from now on, if I see anybody say any negative or out of whack comment about any of our players or club, he's going to call them out by calling them by name. And I know why he's saying that. And even Jamie, big up to Jamie. Jamie also brought it up. There's been a gentleman on Twitter that you guys thought that he really cared about the club because they flew a plane over Anfield, who is he's already attacking Curtis. And it's not that he's attacking Curtis based on the game that Curtis played. He's attacking it because Curtis just was saying what's up to Gravenberg, and this guy's like, why is he acting like he's the best player? I'm like, bro, with anything that you could attack Curtis with, this is what you coming up and start, that's the same thing. It's like Henderson is gone. You can't keep bringing this nonsense back again.
Yeah.
So with those things, I'm gonna call those people out.
Good.
But this one is just, I'm seeing that even the strongest of our people, even though I know, was it Stefano, who even him, he's like, I bow down to you guys for keeping it positive. But some of our people are even, because it's Salah, some of our, even the struggle as ours is like, I don't think I can take it. I don't think I can take it. If he leaves, why is he leaving right now? I'm like, no, relax. Trust your club. At the end of the day, as great as Salah is,
no,
he's not bigger than.
I know who I do know who you're talking about. I think you're okay. Can we call out names, or I know that because realistically, look, the people that we're speaking on aren't going to necessarily have us on our platforms because they don't like the fact that we hold them accountable. Yeah, people that we're talking about aren't going to even like promote our efforts, despite the fact that I subscribe to their channel. I give them. I tend to give them likes when I watch, or the episodes that I get a chance to watch. I support their channel, and the reason why I do is because they're a red, period. But yet their mentality isn't the same mentality that I've been talking about. It just isn't. To them, they're just going to laugh at us, or they're just keep it moving and keep spewing their divisional tactics and everything else, because. Realistically, I also heard. Let me make sure I got calls too. I got business in my office here. They also, what's funny about it is same people. And again, I don't know if we're naming names or not now.
No, I'm not going. I mean, people are free to do whatever they want. I just don't give people that kind of credence,
Yeah, but for instance, the game against Newcastle. A particular person did a watch along, and all of a sudden, when Nunez scored, he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Nunez." All about him. So all about him. Apologizing. And I'm like, you're talking about the same Nunez that you said was trash? Same Nunez that you said was like a player you never wanted, much less you think is not even worthy of wearing the number 9. Same player that, all these things, like people think that just because you say you're sorry, that everything's cool and everything's good and everything else. No, make amends. Be a bigger person, Like, guys, you got to realize that the divisionary tactics that we find so time and time again amongst our own fan base, which is concerning to me, it's something that you have to not only call out, but it's something that you have to combat. Because I'm doing what you're doing, like you said. I'm gonna involve myself in the chat and call them out. If they're not gonna, most of the time they don't even acknowledge my chats when I put them in there. So I'll go as far as to leave a super chat so they're forced to read what I have to say, because I want my mighty Reds to understand they're doing this for I think they're doing it for clicks.
No, they're doing it for clips. I mean, the thing is, look at this way, right? Salah, Liverpool. What has Salah ever done wrong? Nothing. Model citizen, he just do his business, put his head down. Whether you like him or not, that's fine. Everybody has their favorite player. I tell people my GOAT is Maradona. My brother is like, no, my GOAT is Messi. He won the World Cup. Right. Okay, he sits at the table. We can have that conversation. So it's fine when you are not a player, it's not your favorite. But when he's wearing the jersey that you claim to support and you are bashing and it's like, where is that coming from? Yeah. If we we watch Aston Villa.
I gotta check that. I'm gonna check out that. I mean, like, and again, this is how he gets clips. This is how he gets views. This is how he gets, you know, likes, or he gets people that, like, you know, gravitate towards him. Is because one, you know, we're obviously mentioning them, so we're giving them giving these kind of people publicity. But also, we're also going. Yeah, that was John WH saying, "Hey, what's good, bro?" No, it's basically, you know, we're giving them, you know, some reason to breathe, in essence, by giving them oxygen to breathe, as they call it.
That's why I do my best not to mention names, because but if the chat decide to mention whoever they want, that's one person.
That's the army, brother. That's the mighty Red Army.
That's the mighty Red Army.
Mindset. I mean,
call it as you want it. But one person I'll mention.
They do what they want. You know, they got to shoot. They got to shoot.
Yeah, one person that I always call, and I love that guy. What's his name? Is it John? John, it doesn't matter what anybody said. He just want FSG out. And I like him. I like him because he stands into his principles.
Yes.
Regardless what you say, that's his principle. So with him, I know it's not hate. It's just, I don't like this.
That's what he's about.
Yeah. That's what I say. And honestly, maybe he has or has not. I don't know. But every time I've listened to him or been on a panel with him, and he's anti-FSG. I know.
Trust me. But one thing I can say is this.
He's never been a hateful guy. He has never been a hateful guy. He has never said anything that you'd be like, whoa, I don't want to be associated with this thing, right? He will tell you FSG did some crazy stuff. You know?
He can be a little brash. He can be a little brash at times.
But one thing that I would say about my man John, was maybe he has, but I'm saying I've never seen it. He would just tell you how he feels.
No, I just spoke to John, actually. It's funny that you mentioned him. Yeah, he jumped in the chat on my show. Big up for him doing that, showing love, like I said. I said, despite the fact that we don't see eye to eye on some subjects, you know, and despite the fact that we have different supports when it comes to, you know, the administration and everything else. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I still respect John. I still have love for John because he's a Red. I also know that John has warmed and definitely softened his approach when referencing Americans in general, considering that we've befriended each other, you know. And I'm just saying, hey, you know, like, you can't just say that about Americans like that, because I mean, you know, just because our owner or the owners of the club are American doesn't necessarily mean that they're this or they're that. You know, I mean, you don't want to go down that route and line. You know. You want to give people the benefit of doubt for just being people, right? As opposed to, oh, they're Arab, or oh, they're from Japan, or from, you know, wherever they're from, you know, or oh, they're from Venezuela, wherever you're from. Hey, you're a person first, you know. Yeah, respect. It has little to do with what nationality it is. It's about the character of the person, not necessarily what flag is behind you.
And exactly how Stefano is saying it. We argue, we disagree, and that's what football is all about. That's the great escape, you know. So that's why I say with me, when it comes to John, I know what I'm getting. So, but one thing that I know for sure he's not going to do is, I've never seen him do it.
Right.
He's
apologized. He came out and said he apologized. He's like, you know what? It's the same thing as, like, you know, whether it deals with and I'm not saying John's not racist at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it's the same thing when dealing with race relations or ethnic relations or things like that. You tend to not understand people culturally until you actually meet people culturally. Yes. And then once you get an understanding of who they are, what they're about, you get a sense of the person, then you can somewhat open that you can open, if not push away, that stereotype that you might hold towards those people. And that's important because again, Reds Nation is a global nation, so you're going to be dealing with people from all corners of the globe, and it's one of the reasons why, like, I have you know, friends and brethren in Australia, New Zealand, friends in Indonesia, Malaysia. You know, I have friends in Thailand. I have friends in Korea, Japan. You know, friends obviously all throughout all the countries of Europe. You know, like obviously, you know. Canada, Mexico, doesn't matter where you're from. It just matters the person and the individual. And it's my part, as I said before on my channel, again, I'll say it again here. If you love football, cool, we can be friends. But if you love the Reds, we're family. And that's how I look at it.
Yeah. And like I said, And I want John to come back. I've been trying to get him to join the show because I like talking with that guy. He like what's the name said. Brian said his passion is the same as me loving Liverpool. So that one we have it an identical. We disagree on the owners and some things, but when it comes to Liverpool, we are both on the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Redbird, welcome. Sit down.
Redbird.
I got you, man. I'll trim you in a little bit. Right now, everybody's getting a trim right now. So sit down. I got you.
I can't forget the Caribbean. Come on, brother. Come on. Come on. Big up.
No, man, you can never forget the British. Come on.
Yes, exactly.
The Caribbean, the Caribbean has a special heart with Liverpool. John Barnes, man. Come on. We can.
Yeah, for sure. No. Absolutely.
But yeah, but people in the comments, man, the stream is mostly about Salah and we sell or not to sell. Personally, I say next year. The man is going to leave eventually. We're not going to have this guy forever. He might not. He started his new contract this season. So he's a loyal person. As a human being, you can't find those type of people these days.
He's speaking about Salah, right?
Yeah.
Salah, but doesn't Salah? So Salah this is his second year of the 3-year extension this year. So next year he has 1 year left, I believe.
No. He signed a new contract last year.
Okay.
Which he had. That was his last year. This year, if he didn't sign the last year contract, he would have left for free this summer.
Okay.
So that's why everybody was like, why did we wait so long for him to sign this contract to his last? We're going into his last season, right? So this new season is when he started making that $350,000 a week. So, and Salah is loyal. He understands. He's probably the one behind telling these people, make sure you compensate Liverpool very well. That one, I believe it because he loves the club so much, So, what's good, brother? Are you free to jump on for a few seconds? This time you were big, he doesn't use our barbershop anymore. He goes to Hollywood. Ensman goes to Hollywood. He doesn't see us these days, man. Don't worry. We'll be there soon, my brother. But yeah, so Salah, the money at this point, we need Salah.
Right.
And even if we lose 50 million, we lose 100 next year. As him taking us to the next level is more than 100 million or 50 million. So exactly, Brian. The man is in the. You see how he tells us, "Oh, I got a show in 5 minutes." We can't even talk to him anymore. People, we have to talk to his agent.
Yeah, we got to talk to his people. His people's people. Yeah,
my man used to be like, call me, text me. These days I can't even see him. Like even if I text him, it has to go to his agent, and then his agent texts me back, say, "Hey, my man, don't be disturbing him." That.
Right.
Hey, respect, man. That's how you do it when you become big, man. You gotta keep doing it. But we know though, one thing that Ensman is, he takes his people with him. So I know. Yeah, he takes his people with him. But yeah, so let's give Salah a break. There was a guy who used to play for Liverpool. Apparently, he was the captain who left. And he had an interview, which I believe he probably did it before he left. And you know how these newspapers and publications do. They wait for perfect time to release it. I think they were trying to release it when Liverpool was doing bad. And it didn't happen. So they were like, if we don't do it now, it might never happen, right? There's not a perfect time.
Right.
So they released that Henderson talked about the reason why he left. I think the comment that stood out for people is like, he didn't feel the love anymore. So he left, But one thing that people also forget, he said Klopp was always honest with him. All right? Klopp was honest with him from day one. And then there's also a caveat part. Who says that Klopp made a comment that he wanted to bring new players in.
Right.
And the new players that came in, he's very happy. No, Klopp say, I'm very happy with the new players. So meaning Klopp wanted certain players to go, and the players that he got is his choice.
Yeah.
Which to me it seems more political because Henderson is trying to be in the FSG in, FSG out conversation.
Right.
And then he threw a grenade and said, FSG loves Liverpool. FSG is here for the long haul and they want the success of the club. He's very happy with what Liverpool is under FSG.
Okay.
Because remember, Henderson came in before. He came in when FSG is the one who brought Henderson.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, though, I know Henderson, he's a little salty. He didn't want to leave, but he threw a lot of grenades in his conversation. And people have not read the whole thing. They're just taking the snippet and be like, oh, he's saying this, oh, he's saying that. You know what I mean? So
It's trying to drop. It's been trying to set fire to the house before he goes to his.
And then he's going to run out.
He's trying to.
And then he's going to run out. Well, I see what you're doing.
He's trying to light fire.
You know what I mean? This guy trying to start the fire. But what do you think about the interview?
Flicking cigarettes on
the dry zone, you know what I mean? On the dry area, he's like
flicking cigarettes at the curtains.
Let me see you. But funny. Yeah, I mean, Redman, you're right. I would say Redbird, you're right. We don't know when, but usually these interviews are done sometimes a month or two before, and then it just comes out. That's why usually they don't even tell you when they don't even tell you when the interview was. You just happen to see it. So, Tolman, what do you think about? I don't know if you've seen the interview, but what do you think? Why I'm a little bit feel weird on the part where he said he doesn't feel love anymore, and I'm like, come on, Henderson, you are the reason why Edwards.
I haven't seen that interview. I'm gonna have to check.
Yeah, that interview out. I'm like, you are the reason why Edwards left. We give you an extra.
Come on,
2-3 years.
If you were saying that maybe you don't feel love when we tried to bring in Dempsey to replace him, that's one thing. But then again, we ended up sticking with you. We ended up you're the same person that we ended up seeing one of the greatest, if not the greatest player in the history of our club, take his armband and pass it on to you. He's one of the few players that we've seen here his own fan base take flack from countless people, countless rivals and other haters and neutrals, you know, whether backing him up as being such an important player in his team and also a good player in general to warrant his inclusion in the England team. You know, if there's any people that show love, it's Reds. And to say that, if that's what he said, I have to read the context and read the interview, but hey.
But no,
I agree with Beijing Pop says right here. I can really care less exactly what he's saying now. He's making his whatever umpteen hundred. He's making double whatever he made at his advanced age. You know, getting to you know, chill and sip on tea with and you know, hang out with the hookah. I don't know whatever he's doing over there. You know, with Steven Gerrard. You know, and loving life. You know, so more power to him. You know, and also hey, and now he gets to hang out with Ginny. So, I mean, like,
yeah, Ginny's going to be his teammate. But the thing, whatever Henderson said, there are a lot of people on Twitter who are taken out of context. Whatever he said is something that we already knew in the summer, where we said he and Klopp had a conversation and Klopp said, bro, you're not going to have that same amount of game time.
Right.
So it's your choice. Do you want to go or do you want to stay? You can stay. If you stay, I'm bringing new people in. And he knew. He said it. Klopp already, he knew.
Klopp is honest. He's honest.
He's honest with it. So
what else do you want from a coach? It's the same thing you want from a boss. The same thing you want from anyone. You don't want someone to just blow smoke in your face and then and then all of a sudden, you know, pull the rug from underneath your feet. You don't want that. You know, you end up getting a lot. Look, you're going to end up getting what people in the chat. I think a bigger story is what's going on with Manchester United and Sancho.
and you know what? Before you say that, right? And we will come back to this Henderson thing. We were talking about some Liverpool fans, and I repeat, always abusing our own players. While our own players, I don't remember since Suarez, we never seen a player acting out of character wearing the Liverpool badge. If you go on the other side of, is it M5 or M45, people? Let me know. All this stuff that is going on in these clubs, people are getting suspended. People are being busted for gambling against their own team. Sexual abuse, all these things. Yet we are abusing our own players.
Yeah.
Liverpool is the best run club. In the summer, it was frustrating because we did not see where the trajectory was going, which was fine. Anybody who was frustrated had the right to be. But now that we see it,
the M420.
Why M420? Thank you so much. Now, why are you, you know what I mean? But Henderson, that's the part that irked me a little bit, saying that he didn't get the love, that part. Why? Because you have to see it. You knew at this point, you had a bad season. So you knew you were going to be, your output was going to be needed less, right? You were still the captain. Your job is to make sure that Liverpool is at the highest, whether you stay or you go, right? That's why Stevie G left, even though he didn't want to leave. But some people are making way out of context of what the interview was. And he gave a lot of love to the fans, to the ownership. And the fact that he said Klopp is honest to me, you could say I hate Klopp, but if he's honest, to me, Klopp has done his job.
I'm definitely going to have to check out this interview. I do like watching the interviews. Sometimes you got to keep in mind that a lot of interviews are PR, so they're going to say things that are more so. I don't know if are you froze? I think he froze. Yeah, I think Quasi froze up. Quasi got stuck up. Henderson's holding him hostage right now. But yeah, I think that what you're going to end up seeing is a lot of what you see, depending on what interview or who's giving the interview. Look, it's all PR. It's all PR. Yeah, I hope he froze. I think he's being held. I know. Either he's been. Yeah, I think Hendo might have him. He might have him at gunpoint or something. But he will be back in a few seconds. I'm gonna hold it down for him for a second. Let's just go into what I was speaking about earlier. Then, since I got the reins of the wheel right now, how's everyone feeling about the? I mean, I'm loving the fact that Manchester United's in the mud right now. That Manchester United is absolutely rudderless, and if anything, Seven Hog is about to feel the anguish and the pain, which is called disgruntled and disillusioned Manchester United fans. But yeah, I would like to know how we are feeling about Sancho's comments, and also about if you think Sancho is right, or if you think Seven Hog is right in what he has to say about not including him in he didn't even include him in the squad. Keep in mind, people, this was a player that was highly coveted. Went for a record went for another. It was another record signing for Manchester United. A player that was highly coveted by a lot of teams. A player that was not only highly coveted, but was a player that is on a 300. I think he's on 350,000. I want to say, let me pull up his salary again. He's on some ridiculous. The man makes, if it's not 300, it might be 200. But he makes more than Virgil van Dijk. Let me repeat that. Sancho makes more than Virgil van Dijk.
I'm here. Sorry. Power went out.
Which is absolutely incredible. Hopefully, I'm not freezing because I'm here comes our host. I've already commandeered the conversation to Sancho. I'm sorry, I had to do it because that's this.
No, go ahead, continue.
I had to, man, because that's just something that I just can't get enough of it. Because when I saw and heard that, it made me say this too, though. Money is obviously, people say the root of all evil. Money can bring some really great things to our lives, but it could also bring some more money, more problems, as Biggie says. But when it comes to what we're seeing with a lot of the young players that have really so much flex, keep in mind, let's just keep it real. at the time, Timo Werner was making more than the majority of our team at one point when he played for the yes, Jay DeSancho is on 350,000 pounds a week. 350. He makes a Salah-like salary. It's the state of football today, which is so scary. And being an agent, being a former agent, I should say, like, I get it. You want to get if the money's there, if the team's going to pay it, get it. You want to get the most you can for your client, plain and simple. However, when it comes to the state of football today, it is absolutely mind-bending. The fact that Rashford's on 300K. You can say Varane 340. Obviously with his Real Madrid backing, okay, and Casemiro again 350,000 pounds. This is pounds, people, not euros, pounds, not dollars, pounds. 350,000 pounds a week. Casemiro, okay, but the sheer fact that Sancho is at 350,000, the sheer fact that Mason Mount is at 250,000, sheer fact that Martial is at 250,000 pounds. Okay. Yeah. Anthony is at 200,000 pounds. 200,000 pounds for Anthony. It's absolutely mind blowing. And I get it. If you're there and the money's there, get it for sure. But wow, man. It is so incredible. And then you hear and you got to realize when you're making this kind of money, it's going to bring a mindset to the player. He's all of a sudden like, yeah, you're going to be like Aubameyang, where you're going to be making so much money where you're like, you know what? I'll get there when I get there. You know what? I know it's practice, but it's practice. We're talking about practice, like AI stuff, talk about practice, And that's the concept and reality that I'm trying to get across with some of these players, and the beauty of our team, in that we have such incredible harmony, locker room harmony. We have incredible sense of family and a real sense of of just a synergy that is created, and it's quite possibly because people aren't looking at, well, I wonder how much he's making, or oh wow, Anthony's making 200K, but I'm making 110. What the heck's going on? You know what I mean? Like, it's really, really you got to really put perspective on a lot of the things that I'm mentioning, and that balance is something that is important.
That's the power of Liverpool fans. Sometimes we forget. We talk about, we have this divine right. It's Liverpool. It's Liverpool. No. When it comes to the league at the present, you have to show that you are him. You can't rely on what you did in the back. Now, when we are done and we all having a conversation, who is the better team or whatever, then you could talk about all the past you want. But at the climate that we are in, we can't be relied on. Well, we are Liverpool, so we're supposed to. No. We have to show it. That's why some of us sometimes put pressure on club and say, bro, show it. You are a great manager, so show this guy that you are better than him.
No, can you put up Stefano's quote too? Because that's spot on. It's the reason why I keep telling people, the reason why Endo is, and again, I know it sounds like maybe an agenda. If it is, so what? But my Endo agenda is this. There's a reason why we went for Endo, and there's a reason why I'm expecting similar output, if not greater output, from Endo than we saw with Minamino. Minamino was somewhat of a shy, self-tempered person. He didn't get involved, wasn't very, very active in trying to speak English, didn't need an interpreter, so that kind of makes you shy away from conversations and engaging. Endo, different story, speaks English, is obviously is a captain, so is versed with yelling at people and holding people accountable. Excuse me. And you also see a player like Endo, a player like Luis Diaz. People, Endo has 6 kids. Endo, Diaz has multiple children as well. Family-oriented people that are a part of this group. They put so much time and effort into that being a part of the algorithm. That's not even funny. Like as in bringing in the proper people that are going to not rock the boat, that are going to just contribute, going to be able to adjust and actually meld and be a part of this collective is important. People overlook that. They just think that, oh, great talent, put them in. Great talent, put them in. No, it could be great talent, a-hole. Don't put them in. You know, great
I was talking.
Don't put them in.
I apologize. Let me cut you off right there because I was talking about that, with my Mbappe agenda. That a lot of people are like, we don't want Mbappe because of all the everything, the environment that he brought, right? Because he's such a big superstar. Right. But then I'm like, remember, Mbappe has found a way to minimize all that chaotic things from PSG, and it was Neymar.
Right.
You see what I mean? He wanted a cohesive where everything is calm. Of course, he wants to be the Don.
Yeah.
But if he comes to a culture where everybody's winning, he's not going to put up a fuss.
Right.
Because it's going to reflect bad on him. It doesn't matter how big you are never bigger than any club. Ronaldo's situation, the reason why a lot of people emphasize on Ronaldo's side was because Man U is a mess. So everybody was like, you need this guy more than he needs you.
Right.
So in a way, he was becoming bigger than the club. So that's why Eric Ten Hag was like, no, you got to go. Right? When you have a great culture, and this is the part where some of our brethren who don't understand, when NFL, especially NFL and the NBA, if you ask the players who play there, they will tell you that those people have more investigators than the FBI and the CIA and everybody.
Absolutely.
Because before they recruit or draft a player, they have checked his background, who he talks to, who he had coffee with. Everybody they investigate, and then they say, okay, will this guy fit? That's the same thing that Liverpool do it in a smaller scale. Hence the reason why some of our players comes in and they are so happy to be in the club. Look at Gravenberch.
Yeah.
Like you see him, he's sitting in an Anfield like, oh my God, this is bigger than life. They gave him his jersey and the guy acts like he's a 2-year-old that just got a Steven G. Look at Soboslai.
Yeah.
This guy, there's a reason why he's playing this way because he, in his whole life, this is the path he wanted to go to. Right. That's why I get frustrated when some fans, talk so bad about the players.
Right.
Voice your frustration because everybody has to voice their frustration.
Sure.
Otherwise, they won't hear us. But when it becomes abuse, when you start degrading our players, the guy that is wearing the jersey for you to say, I support this club, those people I can't roll with. And I'm always going to go against. What's K-Mac saying? K-Mac, what is it? Selling Salah for $215 is going to rebuild the team, just like Coutinho money did. We need to know, we need now look at the bigger picture. Mbappe and his mom are rebuilding PSG. He is not going to leave. I've been saying it. Thank you. Thank you for being on this side. I've been, stick with me, K-Mac. Me and you, we're going places. That's exactly my point, especially on the Mbappe side. But the 215 right now, I'm not going to take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it. I would take it in January, depending on where we at. Right? Okay, 230, you twisted my arm. Take him. Yeah. Right? 230, take him. Well, at this point, okay, I'm being greedy. Right? But right now, as in between today and Thursday,
but Quasi, and this is something I got to just remind you, because you're someone that always points, one of the people that points this out. But realistically, great, cool, 230 million, that is a lot. But do you realize how much money we make just from like shirt sales off of Mo Salah?
That's what
do you realize how many people are rocking Liverpool jerseys in the Middle East or in Egypt simply for the fact that we have that talisman a part of our club? You know how much we're making off of, and I say we, but as in Liverpool in general are making, because unfortunately, that might have been a call from JWH, but he wasn't sending me a PayPal payment. So that's just something that people got to keep in mind, is that like there's a bigger number connected with players than just oh, well, his transfer fee. People got to realize what you're spending in expenditures, obviously for salary, what he brings back in shirt sales, what he brings back in the contract that you have for his likeness. Because when CR7 went to Saudi Arabia, there was a big deal. One of the big caveats of his contract was that they got ownership or some type of ownership in his likeness, that they can create commercials, they can create billboards, they can create whatever they wanted using his likeness, and that's important. But
I agree. Yeah. I totally agree, because with me, I say, okay, in January, you twist, because at that time you get into silly money. But with me, this is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how much they pay for Salah. They will make the money before they leave John Lennon Airport. They already made that money before it lands in the kingdom. So whatever they're going to pay to me, I don't.
They're going to pay. They're going to make it back.
They're going to make it back. Yeah. But at this point now, no. But by
and it's not even about the money for someone like themselves. It's not even about the money with them.
Exactly.
They're not looking at this as like, oh, this is our opportunity to become multi-billionaires. They're already multi-billionaires, Yeah. And can I say one other thing real quick too?
Yeah.
Before we move on to another topic. I think we got to give we're talking about how the family unit is created and maintained at our club and everything. And we're speaking about how Hendo was a big portion of that. Hey, let's give proper respect and shout to Milner, who I think is, despite anything, it's the reason why Curtis Jones, why you heard players mention him by name, by the sense of how important of a role model and how important he was to the club and their development. And the reason why also is because he's able to teach these young, one of the primary reasons why I believe a lot of these players are these young players, the youth players coming into our team, be included in our team. One major reason why I think a lot of those players are really able to take on this new stage of their football career is because they have people like Milner, or had people like Milner in their lives that create and show how it is to be a professional football player. What it takes to maintain this type of
professionalism
output and to continue to hold that output to have longevity in producing that output. It's immensely difficult.
That's why Brighton got him. And he and Lallana is giving them some knowledge that they will never find anywhere.
Yeah.
These are two winners.
Shout out to Lallana. Lallana was a similar player in that attribute, in the sense of he was just a good locker room presence, a good person to have when you're trying to not only keep unity amongst the club, but also a player that is going to be able to, set a tone, be able to, keep the locker room together and understand what it is to be, again, a professional. And that's why Lallana went on to Brighton and did the same.
K-Mac's point, yes, the concern is real, the noise. But there's one thing that I believe: if Salah doesn't want to leave, it won't matter. That's the whole thing with me. If Salah wants to leave, then yes, the negativity the press, it'll be annoying, and I think Klopp will pull the trigger. But at this point, Salah has not given him any indication that he wants to leave. So that's the reason why I'm sitting here with my chest out, saying that he's not going anywhere. Now, if they show up tomorrow and say 500 million, I call my Uncle Henry and be like, hey, bomb what Klopp is saying. Sell. But that's silly money. But I think by January, we will know where Liverpool is. And we all will know the impact. Right? So by that time, that's when, but next summer for sure. And they will learn their lesson. Next summer, come in June or May. Don't show up in August thinking that you could play that silly game. That's an old school game that they're trying to play. We will show up in the last minute with a lot of money, and then we will try to prize my way. It doesn't work anymore. These days, especially with the EPL, everybody has money. So I don't know what this means. I hope it's a good word.
I know, right?
I know there was a point that I wanted to talk about, and I think it was, Stefano said, I think the Coutinho rebuild was more needed. Yes, at that time, we were at the cusp of greatness, so we needed it. But this is the part where I'm debating anybody who can say...
Actually, can I ask real quick, is Tomas, are you Hungarian, Tomas? I believe that's how you pronounce your name, Tomas. Because I believe that's Hungarian that he's speaking.
Oh, okay.
And I believe he's saying that is hold on, I just actually tried to put it in there. So like he's saying Sabasali is like a horse.
The man has lungs and skill. I mean, we've seen it.
Right. I believe it's Hungarian. I believe it's Hungarian.
Okay. So with the Coutinho rebuild, yes, we needed it more than this one. That's why I think they haven't pulled the trigger too. But that's the part too. The Coutinho situation was a unfortunate situation, happened at the right time. They didn't need the money, but Coutinho pushed himself out. So we were like, okay, well, hey, if you want to go, pay us 150, and they did. So it worked perfectly for Liverpool, right? So, yep, Kabak is right. It's 9 months away. They could start negotiating, and they're probably negotiating right now, saying, okay, next summer, maybe after January, come back, and then we will discuss. So I think that's something that is being discussed. But we will need the money for rebuild. I mean, that's the smart business. We paid what, 30-something million for him?
Yeah.
Are we gonna make almost 10 times as much as that? I'm sorry, that's good money.
We've already made our money back on Mo Salah. I mean, like, it's, again, the money that we've made is ridiculously. We're way in the black when it comes to the money we've made. This is what a Google okay, it does say Sabasali is like a horse to a horse. That's what it's saying. Okay, that's why I was asking if he was Hungarian, because I was asking if a horse to a horse. I guess that's a saying possibly in
yeah.
But again, look, hey, again, it goes to show you, bring in our players. There's a funny thing I was looking at when I was doing my lineup builder. There's an option that you can do where you can like put the nationalities of all the people and or of your starting lineup, and it was so incredible the fact that we had so many different nationalities represented on the pitch.
Yep.
So not one of the same too as well.
Same continent, but not the same country.
Roby instances where that occurs, depending on Gravenberch or depending on when Hakpo is in the lineup, obviously when VVD is there. But there were so many. It was such a diverse lineup, and the fact that we've got this nice, cool little Benetton, lineup of players that meld and are so good, such good people and such good players. It's realistically, really, really fun time.
See, I see Berjan is out here trying to try to throw in this the spanner into the works.
I know, Beijing Pops. I've given you props. I've been trying to promote, and I've given you props about the facts. I saw you on the transfer LFC transfer channel or whatever. I can't remember the name of it. I'm a subscriber, but I can't remember the name. It's more important that you understand. I saw it on his channel, Beijing Reds TV, which is the channel that we need to big up. And he was saying about that exact statement that he just said. And it's spot on. I don't think if we get a Champions League, which I believe we will, I think we're definitely slated to get top 5 or top 4 or whatever it is this year. I think we are on point to have it happen.
Okay,
we are on point to possibly see Salah stay. That's my point.
All right. Anyway, guys, this is a Nature Boy. He and I think Ants are having a show right now, so we are almost done. So when we leave here, please go directly to their podcast, call them, go make noise, especially get on Ants, that Hollywood guy over there. Hollywood guy that doesn't hang around with his common friends anymore. You guys, I want you all to go on him. If
Savage is definitely a Nature Boy, then Ants is
Hollywood
Hogan.
Yeah, Hollywood Hogan.
Hollywood Hogan is now the official term for Ants.
But Banjan is still saying, he said, I'm not letting it go next year. He said, I'll give him an extension. We can't handle this situation right now. We have to let him go. At this point, he has blessed Liverpool.
Can I ask the chat? That's a great thing. If you were to give him a second year, a 1 year, I don't know about a 1 year extension. I'd say possibly a 2 year extension is more likely.
Yeah.
Because with 1 year extension, you're still going to get people trying to sway his palate by January. But let's just say you were to sign him to an extension. what is the buyout clause that you would put at? If you're going to put a buyout clause, what would you put at? 700 million. I say 700 million, 750 maybe. I was going to say 1 billion. Let's put it 1 billion.
Do what Barcelona does.
Exactly. Do you know that? Though that La Liga, every contract you sign in La Liga has to have a release clause.
Yeah, that's why they do it.
I didn't know if people knew that or not, but that's just it's something
back in the day they used to do it.
It's a part of because of Spain. I think it's because of Spain law possibly or something.
Yeah. No, actually, one of the reasons why they did also because the EPL was getting so much money that was the way to kind of like block him off, so they would put like 60 million, 80 million, and then the money came in. We were like, okay, here, cash. They were like, whoa. So then it went to 200, 300. And then PSG showed up with 200 briefcase, and they were like, okay.
That's funny.
Oh, he said, yes, I'm Hungarian. It is a Hungarian slang. Yeah, man. Good to see you, my brother. Appreciate you here, giving us some encouragement and some love from, Appreciate you, man. Welcome.
For sure. What's going on?
I told you it's a baby quad, man. We're winning the whole thing.
Big up. Hey.
By the way, Tomas,
start dropping that hashtag Europa quad.
Hey, Tomas, can you answer this question for us, please? Because he is the captain of the national team, so I'm pretty sure. I would think this guy is pretty big over there.
And I would ask also, Tomas is the reason why you became? I'm assuming you're a Red supporter. Is the reason why you became a Red supporter possibly because of the inclusion of the boss?
Yes, put it in there. Put it in the chat. What did Top Bully do now? £1 billion, and they are having that team is such a mess, and people can't get it. You have £1 billion. Oh my God! Let Klopp get his hands in £1 billion and see what he does with the club. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Yeah, man, this is a thing where Liverpool fans needs to appreciate the club that we are in right now. Yeah, we are not in a flashy club. We don't spend money, blah, 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 blah. But the journey of Liverpool is always beautiful. Guys, just look at just 4 weeks of games. Look at the storyline from when we played Chelsea to Aston Villa. So it's you have to enjoy those. Let's see. Exactly. They just went on Twitter and went with the hype.
Yes, that's exactly what they did. Was not saying because Quasi that the Mandem at Chelsea didn't see if the new players fit before signing them. Spot on.
They have a player that the coach or the manager didn't even know his name.
How about this? Can I say this? People that keep putting out there or keep making it as if you get silverware because you quote unquote win the transfer window are silly. I get it. We all put out there things and such saying, oh, who had a better transfers window, who helped improve their team the most, who brought in possibly the most talented players or the most. But even if you bring in the most talented players, it doesn't necessarily correlate to you bringing the most conducive players to your team. That's a big concept. It's why I'm telling you guys. I know. That's why I'm telling you about this Endo thing. It's why I'm telling you about even with Gravenberch. These players are important because we see them as being parts and components of our team, parts and components that make this engine run. Try pulling your spark plugs out and tell me if your car runs. Pull out the Cadillac converter or tell me how far you get.
Try to cut your own hair and see how you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, guys, any questions you guys have for us before we leave? We got 2 minutes. And remember, I think Savage is on Endman's TV, so check Endman TV. I think that's where they are. Jump onto their podcast. I'm gonna try and see if I could jump on. Yeah, any questions for us before we dip out of here? Salah going, Salah staying. Should we take the 220 mil? What do you think about Henderson's contract? I mean,
a lot to definitely compact. Yeah. Where's the connect? I got you.
Yeah, see him in the back. See him in the back. We can't relieve all those information. You might get us all in trouble.
Right. Yeah.
Nike might be sending cease and desist real quick.
Exactly. Nike's gonna get mad when people are going, I want to buy your kits, man.
Yeah, so Tomas said,
hit me up, Ozan. Hit me up. I'll definitely at least I like if you want to get one of the kits that I rock, or if you want to get I got a dope shirt coming out. It's called the 5 Deadly Venoms. It's going to have all our front line, because that's what I'm coining them as. Okay, it's the 5 Deadly Venoms. If anyone's into kung fu, that's one of my favorite movies.
That's one of my. You know how much in trouble I got from skipping school to go watch that movie?
Oh, absolutely. Kung Fu Saturdays was my
Saturdays. Yep. So yeah. Tomas said Szoboszlai is one of the best Hungarian hopes of the past decades. We love it, man. We love he's in Liverpool, man.
That's dope.
That's a guy who just showed up, and everybody is like, this guy is special.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that in a long time. Usually, okay, you get Mbappe, you know what you're getting with him. But Szoboszlai, from day one, everybody was like, yep, that's the dude. Alisson is the best keeper in the world. At some point, Saudi will come knocking. Who do you think is out there we can replace him? We're not even talking about it. Okay, let me give you the rule, Rashti. This is Fight Club. Rule number 1, we don't talk about Fight Club. So we don't talk about Alisson. Alisson is about to get a new contract very soon. Thank you so much. Say, how much will you accept for Adrian? At this point, I'll say Adrian for 25 million to Saudi. That's all I'm saying. Selling Salah does not make sense. We cannot replace him now. Yep, I agree. That's exactly what we all say. Even in January, I'm not taking anything less than 200. If he's going in January, nothing less than 200. But yeah, you're definitely right, Paul. I agree with you. Yeah, this guy is you can't replace this man. This man is definitely unreplaceable.
Saying so hopefully my Hungarian wasn't too far off. I sent him a message trying to appreciate. I love the fact that we're a global nation, a global red nation. Right? I love the fact that we have people from all corners of the globe that can find one thing, and if there's one thing we can find in common, we can put our political partisans, we can put aside our religious partisans, we put aside all the different little things that separate us, but we can band together and really enjoy the fact that we are all Reds and that we have this beautiful team to support. I love that.
Why is Saudi only going mostly for Liverpool players? They're an agenda, my bro. I'm about to have. We need to have a show about that one. I have questions.
I've questioned it too.
I have questions because one, I would say this: Liverpool players are very marketable, right? Mm-hmm. Even though City was winning a lot, but the noise was all about Liverpool,
right?
Even in the States,
right.
So that could be it. But there's more to it. And the other clubs, they're laughing at us. Wait till January. Wait till January when other clubs' players start getting that contract. Because eventually, some of the question that you're asking, some of these players going to ask the rival players going to ask their agent, yo, why everybody's going to Liverpool? What's up? Salah is going for how much a week? I want a third of that. So don't worry. Eventually, it'll catch up to everybody else. This guy said, 25, I did sell for. Come on. Show him respect, man. He won us the Super Cup. Adrian, man.
Give him a shout out to Adrian.
Liverpool fans, man. I can't stand y'all sometimes. He said they're quitting and pay for the taxi. That's cold-blooded.
That's funny.
You need to go to church right now. What was I say? Because LFC find good. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's part of it. They are very, very marketable. It's either Liverpool players or City players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, what is Ravi saying? Salah is the face of Arabic football, which, yep, he will go because it will be a proud moment for, yeah. He will eventually, but not today or tomorrow or Thursday. He will go. That one, Liverpool, we need to reconcile that feelings and said eventually it will happen. So at this point, right now I'm on my Uncle Henry's year. And the only person that is going to retire a Liverpool player is Alisson. Mr. Becker is not going anywhere.
Interesting.
He's the.
I mean, if that's the case, then you know what? How about this? You're about to say goodbye to Kelleher.
Huh?
If you get your wish, you might as well just say goodbye to Kelleher.
No, because Kelleher will still get a lot of game time because Alisson eventually will get tired. So he will. Yeah. The thing is the knowledge. People don't understand this. Like when we say we don't want Milner to go or Hendo to go or what's that guy? Thiago to go. It's not just the skill that they bring to the team, which is we need it a lot. It's something else they give to the next generation. Have you seen the under-21 goalkeeper from Liverpool?
Yeah.
If you have Salah and Virgil clapping for you, you see what I'm saying? That is the reason why.
Which goalkeeper are you talking about?
I think he's the Brazilian one. I forgot his name.
Because we have another goalkeeper actually that I believe is, I want to say he's from Ireland. I want to say
one of them. I think he went on loan. But this kid was dark, really dark hair, skinny.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
No, the one that went on loan got playing time.
Marcelo.
Marcelo.
Yes.
But Marcelo, I don't know if Marcelo got playing time in I don't think he did get playing time in preseason, but the other goalie that I was mentioning got playing time during preseason because he played in Germany.
Yeah. No, Ravi, I agree. I told you I agree with what you were saying. That's exactly from the beginning of the show. That's exactly what we've been saying. If Salah wanted to go, if this is going to happen, it's either two out of those three, which is FSG, the group, Klopp, and Salah. If Salah puts out a fuss, Klopp is going to tell FSG, get him out. FSG is not trying to have a fight with LFC fans over Klopp. So they're not going to even entertain that idea. That's the reason why I'm trying to tell people Liverpool was never a sell to buy club. It just happened so that Coutinho wanted to leave. We were rebuilding, and they said, thank you for the money. And that's what happens. So if they take the money, then yes, you guys got me. But right now, no. And I don't think they want the wrath of LFC fans over Klopp getting upset. They already upset him with the Super League stuff. So I don't think they want another fight.
Yeah, I did read the. I think he was asking if you read. I don't know if you read his comment out, but I think
we read it out because he read it. Yeah, I think he was thinking we disagree with his point, but end up saying exactly what his point was. So that's
it's going to be a proud moment whenever he decides to go. Whenever FSG and him and Mo and the SPL can decide on. You're not an
LFC fan. I'm sure you are not an LFC fan.
Yeah.
FSG will accept the offer. No, they won't. They don't need Liverpool don't need the money, man.
They don't. They really don't. I mean, look, the money sounds great. I mean, if this was Brighton and Mo Salah and they were trying to raid and Al Ittihad was trying to raid Brighton, that'd be a different story. I mean, if Brighton all of a sudden said, "Hey, I'm going to go out there Ferguson and I'm going to spend 110 or 100 and whatever million for that player," sure, you might see that case go. Yeah. But what I mean by this is that Salah, their SPL is not going anywhere. If anything, the more silverware, the larger the legacy builds that Mo Salah gets, the more records he breaks, the more attention and spotlight he gets by being in Liverpool will only extend the length or the time that he could go and be take the place, do the same thing Messi did by going to America.
Yeah.
You know, like it only extends your football life, at least, when it comes to being a marketable person. And if anything, if Mo Salah can say, I've won the Champions League twice, or Mo Salah can say, I just won the Prem twice, I won the Prem 3 times, or I won the Champions League. I did a quad, I did the Europa quad, then we did then we just did a quad the next year too.
Yeah.
You know, if you can start saying those kinds of comments, do you not think that's not going to bring more? It's not only going to retain his value, but if not enhance it. I think so. Despite him being older, I think it'll only enhance it.
This is a good question. You have to tell me where he's going. I don't want him to go to some useless team just because he was playing.
No,
I need him to go to a team where he's gonna be like he's gonna learn. You know, he's gonna learn, and not just any league. No. But before we go,
I have an answer for that question.
Yeah, go ahead, please. Yeah.
I do not think Ben Doak should go out on loan. I think Ben Doak should stay with this club. I think that Ben Doak is a promising youth, obviously, to all of our eyes. We all see the eye test, as everyone likes to put it. We can all see this guy is, put the work in the gym. He's obviously bulked up, but beyond that, I can't stress this enough. And this is something I stressed on my channel, and I've been doing it on other channels as well. I think I did it. I even did it here before as well, but I'll repeat what I have to say to make sure that you get that weapon, this weapon of mass destruction. All right. And that is this. Okay. The best tutelage he can get is under the best right wing in the world. Yeah. Okay. The best tutelage he could get is under one of the best coaches, in my mind, but one of the best coaches in the world. The best tutelage and growth he can experience is by lining up in practice every day, all day, against one of the best clubs, one of the best teams in the world. The most tutelage and understanding of how to be a professional, what the system is. People, when you go to other clubs, all the other clubs that you're saying send them out on loan don't play the same system that Liverpool plays. And then you're going to ask that player to come back from loan, albeit he's got experience. And that's important. I'm not saying it's not. But he's going to have to come back to Liverpool and learn the system, be ingratiated into this new system that no one else is really playing. Only a select few clubs in the world have the talent to play. And my final point, we're playing in Europa, people.
He's going to play a lot of games.
He's going to play. If you don't think that he's not going to get any experience, this is the best opportunity for our youth players to play.
And Salah is gone for a month.
If this was Champions League, it'd be a different story. Obviously, you're not going to play him during Champions League play. But the fact that we're in Europa, the fact that he would have played in those cup games anyway, because we play our youth in the cup games, okay? This is the time for him to be in Liverpool, period. Do not go out alone. Stay with the club.
That's what I'm saying. And he's going to have a whole month because Salah is gone. I agree. Ravi,
and it's in January. Yeah. AFCON.
Ravi, I agree with this question. I think he's much better when he comes off the bench, depending on the game. But most of the time, he have shown that he pays attention during when he's sitting on the bench. When he comes on, he knows who to target. So, doesn't mean that he has to be on the bench all the time, but I agree with that point. But before we go, I have a question. In the chat, I need you guys to answer this. We're getting all these money thrown to us from Saudi Arabia. 200 million this, 200 million that. And FSG outers, you guys going to love this one. Why doesn't Saudi Arabia comes and pay just buy the club instead? That will solve the problem. Come buy the club. Why are you spending $200-$300 on one player? Come buy the club. Now you own the player.
No, that's true. They've got the money to do it.
They got the money. Come buy the club.
Yeah. If anything, you know what? Then we could. Then you might be able to see what we see done with Chelsea, which is Chelsea has a consortium. I know that Bowley is the face of that consortium, and everyone thinks American ownership. He might even be the largest stakeholder in the consortium. But let's not get it twisted. They have Saudi money involved in their in the consortium. So that means that, you know, a lot of people's eyes are raised at the prices and transfer fees that they were getting for some of the players that they were allowing to leave to Saudi Arabia. And the reason why is because those teams are owned by the same people in the consortium that owns Chelsea. So in essence, it's almost like, let's say you had a car, okay, and then you go and you buy a car, right? Or you want to buy another car, all right? And then you sell your, I don't know, your Ford Mustang, right? Your Shelby Ford Mustang. And all of a sudden you're like, wow, that's a nice car. Yeah, I just bought it. Who'd you buy it from? Myself.
Look what Paul is saying. He said they will relocate Anfield to Saudi. No, what they will do is they will build another Anfield in Saudi. They will replicate the stadium, probably make it 100,000 seats in Saudi.
Now, if anything, you know what I think we'd see is that our preseason will be in Saudi Arabia.
It's going to start happening. Trust me. They will be going there. Now they're going to, because there's going to be a lot of money. But anyway, guys, thank you so very much for joining us. We appreciate you guys. 12 man, thank you. My people who came for a trim in the barber shop, you know, Ozen was in the building, you know, Paul came in later, you know. Trap Joe, I see you, man. I gave you the Bay Area, you know, hairdo.
40.
Ravi came in late as always, you know, so you know he has to wait for a long time. Bajan, you know, I gave you the goatee, you know, what's up? You like it? Yep. We're not going to talk about Ends. You know, Ends is a Hollywood. He comes to our barber shop with his own barber. What kind of Hollywood person is that? You know what I mean? And then Savage, he just dropped in and ran away. Tomas, you know, our Hungarian new brother, thank you so much for joining us, you know, and Redbird, Rashdi, Phillips, Brian, as always, respect. Man, if I forgot any names, please apologize. Don't forget, Hensman and Savage is having a show, so they want you guys to join them. So please go there and check them out. 12 man, you got anything coming up before we get out of here?
Thursday, I'm gonna have a call in, and tomorrow I'm just you know, since we're on the break, there's only so much you can talk about. So I might have an impromptu you know, subject. I don't know. So I'll figure out something for tomorrow. But I am now that I have a lot of the components of the channel down, I'm making an honest effort to, you know, do what you do, which is, you know, get online and just broadcast no matter if 5 people, 10 people, 100 people, whatever the people, you know. There's only one. I'm on the road to 100K. So if anything, you know, big up to my soldiers out there. Big up to the generals and the officers as well out there, part of the Reds Army. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate you, Kwasi, for allowing me to
for coming. Yeah. Hey, Trap Joe said he got long hair. Don't worry, I got my man 12 man. He could, you know, you see his hair? He got you. No, he got you.
Ozan said thank you for the fade too.
Ozan, I told you, I got you, man. I got you all the time, man. I just need to come to you guys' show, man. Thank you, Ozan. That's the barbershop, man. That's the LFC vibes. It's all barbershop talk. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, guys. We really, really love the love, man. This is Liverpool. This is how it's supposed to be. You know, this is the you know, take us away from the real world for that 2 hours. So keep the positive, stay away from negative people. It has nothing to do with football. It's not, mental health is real. So keep your mental health, and we need to give positive to LFC players. They need us too. So we have to give it that to them. So and then of course the manager, we could never forget the manager. So let's give love to the manager. But guys, thank you so very much. Kwesi Bowl, 12 men, deuces.